The roster of WWE seems like a gigantic one. There are many stars across brands such as Raw, Smackdown, NXT, and more. This can lead to many not getting the opportunities fans feel they deserve. In some cases, stars are simply left off television for long periods of time, and in others, they may simply be on the sidelines due to injury. In this video, we're taking a look at those wrestlers signed to WWE that are not appearing on television. After making his pro wrestling debut in 1998, Eric Young would find himself making a name in TNA, which later became known as Impact Wrestling. There, he held just about every title the company had, including the World Championship. After a run with Impact that started in 2004 and ended in 2016, Young made his way to WWE in the form of NXT. On NXT, he was the leader of a faction known as Sanity. While the group made decent headway on that brand, they failed to make a splash as a unit on the main roster. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Young would be released from the company due to budget cuts in April of 2020. He would return to Impact for a short time before making his way back to WWE. Despite being signed to WWE currently, he has not made any appearances on television. After making his name as a singles competitor on NXT, Big E made his way to the main roster as an enforcer. Then he was a part of a stable known as the New Day with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. This would prove to be a vehicle that could push its members to new heights, as Kingston and Big E would both not only become tag team champions whilst part of the group, but later won the WWE Championship. Unfortunately, Big E would suffer a broken neck after taking a suplex outside the ring on an episode of Smackdown on May 11th, 2022. Talking about his recovery earlier this month, Big E told the Battleground podcast, "It's just a complicated fracture. I broke my C1 in 2 places, so that Jefferson fracture is what it's called. It just takes a little bit more time to heal. So we just did the 1-year scan after WrestleMania. It was a little bit later because of WrestleMania. We have to sit down with the doctors at some point and kind of figure out what the next step is, but from my perspective, I feel great. I have no function issues, no pain issues. I've been at the gym since 2 weeks after I broke my neck. I'm just feeling great, and I'm really grateful for all of that. It's just obviously your neck has to be in a certain condition to deal with the rigors of being in the ring on a nightly basis." When it comes to plans for a return for the former WWE champion, Ringside News wrote, "There is a report going around saying that WWE has a plan for Big E's return. We were told by someone who certainly knows that if Big E can ever return, the writing team has not been officially informed yet." After spending some time on NXT, Alexa Bliss made waves on the main roster as she went on to become a multiple-time Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion. She became a 3-time Tag Team Champion, 24/7 title holder, and won the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match in 2018. Recently, she's been off television, with her last match taking place at the Royal Rumble earlier this year against Bianca Belair. Touching on her status, Ringside News said, "We asked around about Alexa Bliss, and we were told that despite all the hope in the world from fans that she will be back soon, there are no current plans." Following some time in WWE's developmental system, Bray Wyatt would eventually make his name as a cult leader. His presence was unique, as were his promos and style. He would find a great deal of success, going on to become a world champion. Wyatt even reinvented himself, turning into The Fiend. After being released from WWE in July of 2021, he returned the following year to much fanfare. Despite the momentum, he has been sidelined with a reported physical issue, as he would end up missing WrestleMania. Steve Carrillo wrote that Bray Wyatt hasn't returned to WWE yet. We reached out to check on his current status. We were told that he is still not cleared to compete. 8 days later, it would be said that we reached out once again to confirm Bray Wyatt's status, since he still hasn't shown up yet. We were told he's still not cleared, but WWE Creative will be informed when he's ready to go again. Signing a contract with WWE in 2013, Dana Brooke would begin her career on NXT. After some matches, she would make her way to the main roster as a protege to Charlotte Flair. Brooke became a mainstay in the women's division and later a staple of the 24/7 title division. She became a 15-time 24/7 title holder. She would be the second to last person to hold the belt, being beaten by Nikki Cross for the title in November of 2022, as the belt would be thrown away and deactivated. Since then, Brooke has not been seen on programming. Given her time off, it's been said that she is considering taking a boxing match, with Sean Ross Sapp noting that Dana is engaged to MMA fighter Yuli Diaz, who has found great success. She told me years ago that she'd done a little MMA training. In talking with her, she said that she does a lot of jiu-jitsu training now, but boxing is on her bucket list. She tries to incorporate it into her training each week and has considered taking a boxing fight soon. We also spoke to Dana about the 24/7 title, and she admitted she was brokenhearted about the title going away, saying she put her heart and soul into it. She said that she made a lot of pitches for the 24/7 title that didn't happen. Specifically, she said that she pitched for the 24/7 title to become a women's intercontinental title. Following his winning of a gold medal in freestyle wrestling at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, Gable Stevenson would sign a contract with WWE. Many speculated what could be next for the wrestling prospect, as some made the obvious comparison to fellow gold medalist Kurt Angle. In the 2021 draft, it was announced that Stevenson had been drafted to Monday Night Raw. He would only get physical in the ring during Night 2 of WrestleMania 38, where he suplexed Chad Gable. After this, he has made no appearances for the company. Talking about the initial idea for Stevenson, Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio, the original idea was he was going to do college wrestling that season, which he did, and they were going to bring him to do a couple of Raws during the year. He wasn't going to wrestle, but he was going to make appearances to build up his debut, which was going to be at WrestleMania. And yeah, never appeared, still hasn't appeared. He'd retired after winning the Olympic gold medal, actually after winning the NCAA championship last year, because he came back from the Olympics to win the NCAA championship. Then he retired, and he was going to go into WWE and all that. Obviously, that has not materialized. He did have the surgery to repair the Wolf's heart, but his progress has not. He hasn't lit the world on fire by any means, and they haven't put him on for that very reason. Angel Garza and Umberto Carrillo have not been seen on WWE television in some time. The duo got their start in WWE and were seen as potential prospects. Garza even went on to become a cruiserweight and 24/7 champion. They would team up on the main roster as Los Lotharios, but they have not made another appearance on programming since November of 2021, despite still being signed to WWE. After becoming an NXT mainstay and Triple Crown champion on the brand, Johnny Gargano would take some time off before returning to the WWE and making his move to the main roster. With him having recently returned to NXT, it seems he is out of action with an injury. When it comes to his current status, Sean Ross Sapp reported that Johnny Gargano hasn't appeared on WWE programming since NXT Stand and Deliver, leading many to wonder where he's been. Fightful Select has learned that Gargano re-aggravated the shoulder injury that had him sidelined for much of January. After only having a couple of matches his first few weeks back, Gargano ended up wrestling a dozen matches after March 4th. We're told that the shoulder injury got worse after his Royal Rumble return, and by the time of the NXT match with Grayson Waller, he was severely hampered in using one arm. The hope from the company is that he can repair the injury with physical therapy as opposed to surgery. And those were WWE wrestlers signed to the company but not appearing on television. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.